Good morning and g'day, mate. Welcome back to Dyson Sphere with me, JD, and of course, the wonderful Mr. Icarus. And today's episode, we're doing a few things. We're clearing some things off the docket that I've been ignoring for a little while. At the same time, and that was a thumbs up from Mr. Icarus, he's very, very happy with clearing some things off the docket. At the same time, last episode, we managed to get a Dyson Sphere up and running, which is, is sponsored by the Intergalactic advertising campaign, and is going to remind you that, now's a good time, if you haven't already, to subscribe to JD. Very, very much appreciated. And that particular sphere has had 2,500 rockets have been launched. We've still got about 11,000 to go, so it's still a little bit to go, but we are producing around about 250 megawatts. The catch is, we're not consuming any of that power. So that's the other thing we want to get up and running this episode. But before we do any of that, we need to fix, like I said, some things on our docket. Because one of the things that's holding up our rocket launching, believe it or not, is the complete lack of acid. You might say, but JD, acid's used for, nothing. It's true. It's used for graphene, which we have replaced with the advanced recipe using the fire ice, because we happen to have an ice giant. The other thing it's used for is titanium alloy. Now, the catch is, I ignore the problem because we've built up a tank full of sulfuric acid. We weren't using it that fast. And on top of that, we had a tower with a little bit of a buffer in there as well. But since then, we've sort of gone through and burnt it all. So what I really need to do is make sure that we have sulfuric acid. So builds like this that should be making titanium alloy can make titanium alloy. Builds like this that has no acid whatsoever should also make titanium alloy and are not making titanium alloy because of no acid. So what I want to do is I want to fix that problem. But that problem requires pumps. And I don't have any pumps. Well, I have a couple of pumps on me. I have 12 pumps. The good news is we did automate pumps. We did automate pumps not as part of the original workshop, but as part of the sub... Oh, hang on. The sub workshop. Oh, I don't have labs. One other thing I want to do, because 50 of those. I noticed you need to be set like that. Cool. Yeah, we need to make yellow science much faster. Okay. Much faster. Oh. Actually, max that out now. Cool. Yeah, as I was saying, we are making pumps on our tightly locked planet. So we want to go across to Home 2, which is on the other side of the gas giant. Of course it is. We want to head across here. We want to go and set up our polar hub, because it's built, although it doesn't have most of its requests. So we want to fix that completely, which means we're going to head straight to the North Pole and set that up. At the same time, I may be almost out of fuel, so we should probably fix that problem at the same time whilst we're just visiting. So yeah, two things we want to do. Acid, definitely acid. And then, like I said, we need to do something about ray receivers, which are also conveniently, after we land and bounce, are automated right about here. So we're going to start at our first build, and we're going to start turning these guys on, because now that we're in a galactic, resources should be less of a problem. And we can now see that the warper line is full, and we have warpers in all these towers, because they're being daisy chained from one to the other to the next. But we are now going to set up solar panels, which will give us some sort of solar panels in storage. We already have the vertical launching silo. We have the miniature power collider, which I need about 5 of, so we'll just grab 5 whilst we're here. We also have a couple of things that we can't build just yet, because there is one achievement I wish to complete, or 2 achievements I really wish to complete, before the game is, well, before... There's two achievements I wish to complete. I wish to maintain. That's probably a better way of putting it, but until the game is done. So we need to do the mission complete. That is the main science we need to do. And under achievements, there is Alien Mineral Protection Act. This one. Complete the game without gathering rare veins to obtain rare ores. Also foundations and also no solar cell. No, thank you. These are the 3 achievements I'm trying to get all in one hit. And that means I can't mine optical grading crystal to make the advanced mining machine, which requires 40 of optical grading crystal each, which is not a small amount. But I have picked up a whole bunch of these from rocks, and the drone's just going off and gathering them. So they're free. Those ones I could definitely put in there and start making the advanced miners, which I can only make about 4 of them, but 4 of them is better than none of them. And then here's our pumps, which is one of the things we needed this episode. So we're just going to turn all these on, along with throw in little shippies, throw in big shippies. I did shippies in this one, didn't I? Yes. Next one is, of course, the spraying machine, which is good, because I have been handcrafting them on and off for quite some time, and we should have plenty of these items now available. Shippies. Okay, I don't have microcrystalline components, so microcrystalline components I still need to actually put into a tower. It seems we definitely have them, but I haven't bothered putting them in a tower. We're also going to set up mini fusion power plants, just because it happens to be next in the list, so it's sort of in my way. Not that we need them yet, but we could use deuterium fuel rods and burn them off inside mini fusion power plants. Another item that requires rare resources is the plane smelters. So the plane smelters are an awesome smelter. They smelt at twice the speed. There is one catch. They use 4 times their power. So they need 1.44 megawatts compared to just 360 kilowatts. For a crafting speed going from 1 to 2. They also require unipolar magnets, which is such a rare resource because it only appears around neutron stars and black holes. That's the 2 star types that appears around. So you don't have a lot of these in the galaxy, which means you need to be a little bit careful with them. But yeah, it means that's not going to get up and running for a little while. We're going to set up geothermal power plants as well because it's next in the list. And what do I want? I want to take that stack out. I want to put that stack in instead, because 50 is more than enough for most of these. And that should set up that one. And this is the one I was trying to get to. This is the ray receiver. So we're going to turn on ray receivers. We're going to set up all their requests. Give them their 50 shippies. Give them the big shippies. And then that should be good to go, except it's going to take a minute to build. In fact, it needs to import the glass to make the prisms, to then make the photon combiners all here on site for both these machines. So it's going to take more than a minute, which means we should have more than enough time to backtrack. Come back here, grab the massive 6 pumps that we've managed to automate. But that's okay, because I have gathered plenty of raw resources to actually make a whole stack of water pumps. And we're then going to leave our system and our galaxy again, because there is no sulfuric acid naturally occurring on a planet. And we're going to go to this little blue star over here. We're going here for 2 reasons. One, it's a type B star, so its luminosity is much higher. Okay, our home system, our home system has a luminosity of 0.990, so basically roughly about 1. Here we have a luminosity of 0.17, which means any Dyson spheres we make out here are going to be much more effective. On top of that, the second planet orbiting the sun happens to have sulfuric acid because it's a volcanic ash planet, which means that's exactly where we're going to fix our problems after I remember to grab some deuterium fuel rods. Otherwise we'd probably run out of gas halfway there. Fuel rods. Not the build, that's the build. Nope, not that. I want 170. That should do us. Cool. Alright, so with all that done, we're going to accelerate up to warp speed and we're going to go out and conquer another another system. Now, I did mention quite some time ago, the plan with this series is 1, complete the game. At the same time, once we've completed the game, to work our way out to a mega base. I want to proliferate everything in every step possible. literally, which we're going to go much more in depth on when we've actually completed the game. The other very, very important thing I want to do is I want to make sure that at the end of the day, that those that choose to support the channel, I'm giving them a proper shout out. A proper shout out. So we need to come to the second planet, and I need to hit it bullseye, dead on, not flow past it at warp speed, because that would be embarrassing. Helps if I can see it. There it is. Boom. Alright, so we just need to make a good old-fashioned crash landing like that. And first thing I want to do is I want to name this planet, because I've had Matthew who went above and beyond. Not only does he like every video, at least I assume he likes every video. I definitely know he definitely likes every video. He has clicked subscribe on the channel. He went that above and beyond, and he decided, look, I enjoy JD's content, and for the grand total of $12 for 12 months, he can support the channel for 12 months, costing $12, which is cheaper than $1, well, 1 month's worth of Netflix. So he took the opportunity to click the join button right beside the subscribe button, become a member of the channel, get early access to the videos, because obviously they're not finished 10 minutes, well, occasionally they're finished 10 minutes before they're due to go out, but normally they're finished with, you know, 6, 12, 18 hours in advance. So he decided, look, I'm going to support the channel because I love the content. At the same time, I'm going to go over to Discord. I'm going to make sure I've synced my YouTube account with my Discord account. I'm going to make sure I cash in on that early access to videos. So Matthew McClough. Yes. Jenny doesn't pronounce names. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Very, very much appreciated. And we're going to go to that sulfuric acid bath over there. And we're going to set up some sulfur right here. And the way we're going to do that, super lazy, in fact, is we're going to do it probably on this side. Is we're going to throw down a tower. Come on. We're going to set up acid. We're going to set up warpers. We're going to have a request for remote warpers, local storage. We're going to put in big shippies. Technically, you don't need little shippies, but we're going to put them in anyway. We're going to make sure that I get a power pole hooked up to this as fast as possible, because it's going to need a minute to charge, which means it's going to kill the power network until it's fully charged, like so. We're going to set you to charge rate of 30, because I do not need you charging quickly. And we're going to throw out a small wind farm. We'll notice that things go less and less red as I get more wind turbines down. Orange is better. What's even better than orange? Yellow. I brought 150 wind turbines with me. It should be enough that we should be able to get power up and running fairly quickly. Yeah, we're slowly getting there. And don't forget, if that's the kind of wind turbine, the current demand is 26.4, but as this tower charges up, gets more power into it, the demand's actually going to go down. I have 38 wind turbines left. Let's assume we can go to there, and then let's get a row like that. Hey, we're in the blue. I still have a few wind turbines left, so we're going to throw these down really quickly. 3. Done. All wind turbines done. We actually have excess production, and we're going to see that this is 27.7, 0.6, 0.4, 0.3, done. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in some water pumps. Because these are not mining a vein, we're not going to ruin our Environmental Protection Act, Alien or Environmental Protection, whatever the achievement's called. We're not going to ruin that achievement by putting down these, which means I'm going to cover this whole little lake with as many of these things as I can squeeze into it. There, oh, there. Click and drag, there. Now, obviously, if I could use some foundations and square up the shoreline a little bit, I'd make my life easier, but by the same token, I can't use foundations, so, you know, that'd ruin that achievement. So we're just going to whack these in any old way. There's 4 in a row at least. Many in a row. Okay, alright, so with that done, I need to hook up some belts. I'm going to aim for around about 12. Actually, I'm just going to aim for that pile. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Perfect. Alright, we're going to grab a power pole, because I'm all out of triangle power poles. And stretch this to here and to here. And that should start producing a bunch of acid. Haven't maxed out the grid yet, but give it time. And as we can see, we have actually more than a full belt's worth. You know what? Let's bring you across to there. Bring you into there as well. Take that, and that, and that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, 10 seems to be roughly the magic number. So we're going to power up these guys as well. And literally, I just want to get sulfuric acid out of this build and into the tower as fast as possible. We're not too picky on how we're doing it. We're just throwing belts at machines and plumbing everything together. So it's 2 plus 4 is 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll call 9 a good deal around here. Put power pole in there, power pole in there, and that leaves this row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That should do us. Power pole in there, power pole in there, power pole in there. Drag this belt into there and drag that belt into there instead. Okay, that should give us a crap ton of sulfuric acid. As we can see, we've already had ships leave. We've already had warpers shipped out here, which means sulfuric acid is hopefully sorted. Okay, I don't make guarantees. It may have some issues in the future, but for right now, hopefully it's sorted. At the same time, as I said, I'm going to name planets after lovely members, YouTube members have gone that extra step. Click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the join button. But there are some people that go a step above and beyond. And again, I need to celebrate and you know, congratulate and thank those people that do go above and beyond and support the channel and make our dream of ad-free 2022 a reality. So I did say for stars, we're gonna actually name them after Patreons, and I have Paymo, who has gone that extra step, and he said, look, I know YouTube starts off at just $1 a month, which 12 months of supporting JD is cheaper than 1 month worth of Netflix, but you know what? I want to get all over and done with in one hit. He went to Patreon. He said, look, the $2 tier, I know it's twice as much. It is technically twice as much, but I can pay for the whole 12 months up front, get 12 months worth of early access, support a creator I like, and it's costing me 2 months worth of Netflix because it's $2 a month. So Paymo took the extra step. He did support across that Patreon. If you wish to support the channel, links are always down in the description. Well, the join button's right there, and the link to Patreon is always down in the description. Very, very much appreciated. Thank you, Paymo, for supporting the channel and making sure that we now have pretty much infinite sulfuric acid. We're pumping the stuff. Power, not great. Honestly, not great. But at the end of the day, it's good enough. It's good enough. We have 10 ships out, all carrying sulfuric acid. So I can't sneeze at any of this. But it now means that we need to fly all the way back to the home system. We need to go to home 2, which hopefully has all the bits and pieces we need, being the ray receivers, up and running. And it does mean that if all goes well, we can get some ray receivers down on the planet and start actually consuming our Dyson Sphere. But it does mean I need to make a trip back and remind you guys, look, if you've made it this way far in the video, you're past the halfway point. Can you do me a favor? Can you click the like button? If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I would very, very much appreciate it. At the same time, tell me what you guys think of the pacing of the videos. Are we keeping the pacing up? We're good enough? We're good enough? Or am I going a bit too fast? You want me to stop and explain things a little bit better? Please, comment sections. What it's there for. If you've got nothing good to say, or nothing bad, I'll take an either or. It all feeds the algorithm. Can you do me a favor? Can you just, like, go down there and leave an emote? Leave your favorite emote. Leave your most hated emote. Leave an emote. Leave an emote. Feed that algorithm with emotes, because we've come all the way back here. I'm going to land again. And ray receivers. That's exactly what I want. 8 of them. 8 of them should be enough. Now, you would assume, as I'm lucky enough to have a tightly locked planet, they are super, super rare. And it means that if I put a ray receiver on the sunny side of the planet, it's always going to be in the sun. You'd assume I'd put it on this planet. We're not. We're not. We just came here for supplies. We're actually going to go across to the Grady walk-up system. And we're going to go put them on the Grady system. And I'll explain why. I will explain why. But first off, let's just get there. Like that. Okay, we want to land somewhere near the North Pole. Done. Actually, no. I want to go to the dark side of the planet first. Which is rotating, which means dark side may not be dark side for long. But we won't come to the dark side, because I went and set up a sphere a little while ago, and I made sure that this sphere was the maximum size I could make it. And we're going to add a new layer to demonstrate, and we're going to drag out the orbit radius, and we can see right here it says too close to planet orbit. And then if I drag this out further, we're outside the planet orbit, and then eventually we get to maximum size. And our Grady planet, we zoom out, happens to be the internal planet, which means the subscribe to JD, which is upside down, happens to be outside Grady, which means let's find a darker side of the planet. Super dark. Now I drop one of these down. We can see we get a ray receiver. Not only that, our ray receiver on the dark side of the planet, we're 100 seconds away from actually having sunlight, is actually absorbing power. Because we're inside the sphere. And although we may not be able to see the sphere from standing on the surface, because it's not a complete sphere, game doesn't know that. So, our awesome little eyeball at the top of the ray receivers is technically facing the sphere, which is on the other side of the sun to us, but we're getting power from the sphere. Which means, because this planet is inside the sphere, I can put ray receivers anywhere on this planet, and they are going to work 100% of the time. Which means, we're going to rip up that. We are going to set up a proper build. And there's one more thing I forgot to grab. Okay, building mode. That's what I want. Let's go with right here. Okay, so right here, I want to have one of you. Dyson Sphere components. We're going to have 4 of you. 4 of you should let me demonstrate everything I need to demonstrate. I need to grab these because I forgot to grab some. Remote demand. Oh, they're coming along. Okay, so ray receivers. Ray receivers, awesome little creatures. Creatures, definitely creatures. And what they do is they absorb power from the Dyson Sphere and, you know, whack it into your grid. Or we can set them photon generation. Photon generation is what we actually need to make critical photons to make the white sites. So we can see we went from 6 megawatts up to 48 megawatts because photon generation consumes a lot more power. Which means I need less of these guys on the planet. So we're going to swap all those across to... Nope. We're going to set you back to power. Better. Okay. We are going to set these guys up. Now, as we can see, our power rate is increasing because we have a continuous receiving. The longer we continuously get power, the higher the continuous receiving is going to get. Excellent. We'll talk about that milestone in just a second. The more efficient they get. They basically warm up, okay? They're a giant microwave receiver. They warm up over time. They increase their efficiency. The other thing we can do is we can go to research, go to upgrades, and we can research some better efficiency. So we're going to do that real quick, like probably all of it, because currently we are only getting 30% of power. We only have an efficiency rating of 30%. We now have an efficiency rating of 37%. When the next research goes, we'll go up to like 43%. Yeah, about 43%. And then we'll get 10% on top of that again, which will bring us up to like 51%, so on and so forth. So I want to get the efficiency up as high as possible before we do too much. We also are going to need a belt. Let's have you into there, because literally all I want to do is I want to take our critical photons and shove them on a belt and run them into there. You can do critical photons. Excellent. All right. So the other thing I can do is I can take a graviton lens. Now, if I take a graviton lens and put it into a ray receiver, and let's copy that and paste that there. We're going to max them out, but that's okay. If I take a graviton lens, I put it in this guy, we can see that the max output gets doubled. It goes up to 100, an extra 100% on top. That's the only change. Okay. I don't get extra power out. Okay. This is requesting 132 megawatts. This is requesting 264 megawatts, exactly twice as much, because I don't get any big bonuses at all. The only thing it means is I need half as many ray receivers doing photon generation. That's the only difference. Also means I'm now consuming resources, and graviton lenses, don't forget, they're not cheap. Okay, I'm consuming resources to halve the amount of buildings. If I'm space constrained, makes sense. If I'm not space constrained, doesn't really make sense. One thing I haven't had a chance, and we're going to test this right now, is if I put on a sprayer and we 28. Oh, there's another few. Done. Okay. If I juice up a stack of these, grab those. It's fine. So you're doing, there we go, more efficiency. We're almost up to 50% efficiency. So we can see that you are doing 284 megawatts. You are doing 124, and if we set you to photon, you're also doing 124, because these are all put down at basically the same time. If I take my sprayed, where'd they go? Okay, let's try it again. Let's spray some more of them, because they went and binded into another stack. Okay, I need to, let's put those in there, all of those in there. We'll pick these guys up, so we only have sprayed ones in our inventory. Perfect. Alright, so if I hover over this and it says, if using ray receiver, the maximum output can be further increased. So we have normal one doing 131. We have a graviton lens one doing 263, twice as much. And if I put a proliferator one in here, we can see we're doing 397, being 132 multiplied by 3, because you're now doing 200%. So I could proliferate the graviton lenses, which, look, considering how expensive they are, not a bad idea. And then, once again, dramatically cut down on the amount of ray receivers I put down. But that only applies if I'm short on space. And as we can see from our Dyson Sphere status, we have 283 megawatts, and we're requesting 750. Which means the last thing I need is more ray receivers. What I really need, last thing I need is more power being requested. I just need a few of these. Okay, I'm definitely not constrained in space. In fact, if I put down 6, what's the first one doing? First one is doing 125 megawatts worth of power. So honestly, right now, 2 of them would max out my system. So let's not have you guys, or you guys. We'll just have 3 for right now, and we shall accept then we're going to get a couple of critical photons. Not a lot, not a lot. But after I have critical photons, the very... Oh, and we've got critical photons, blah, 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 blah. So you might restore the star's energy as antimatter. I would if I did the research. What? Go away. Alright, what I now need to do with my critical photons is... Put them in a belt first. Is... I need to spray them, okay? Because we want to convert our critical photons into bad belt. Into their two primary materials, which is me requesting goop. Thank you. Remote storage. I want to put big shippies. Do I have little shippies on me? No, it doesn't look like it. Right, we don't really need little shippies. Okay, I want to bring out between output belt of spray and there. Oh, there into there. Probably helps if you guys had some sort of power pole you could actually charge. Right, and let's grab all of these guys because I really want to put them back through the sprayer. It's sort of important. Throw all 42 of them in there. I think they're sprayed. It's sort of hard to tell. Actually, let's pick it up. Yeah, they're definitely sprayed. This says the item with Proliferator can only to production speed up. Really? Maybe we don't want to spray them. Alright, let's go production. Let's go one of these guys. Because what we need is we need the particle container doing this recipe, which is only speed up. Okay, if you're only speed up, you can go away, and you can go away, and we'll just clear that. And I have somewhere to dump juice on this planet, do I not? There. Juice in there. Okay. So we don't want to proliferate it because it's not worth the effort, and we do want this recipe. And what we need to do is we need to split our critical photons by bringing them in and splitting them into two primary components, one being antimatter, one being hydrogen, and drag. You know what? 4, 5 machines. Yeah, drag our 5 machines across. Throw in some power poles. Really? Okay. Fine. You're being difficult. There to there to there. Drag. Power pole there. Power pole there. Power pole there. Throw those in there. 38 of them. Excellent. And yes, we wish to actually. I have those back. And we'll put those in there. Clear that. We don't need those in there. We just need to have antimatter and hydrogen available. I don't have little shippies, but that's okay. We don't really need them. And that should be us done. That should be us creating critical photons. As you can see, we're still trying to pull 700 megawatts. Oh, we've still got a few of these running at high speeds. Okay. We're trying to pull 128 times 3. Yeah, 3 times the amount of power we have currently. You know what? We will plan ahead because those rare receivers will eventually run out. Those graviton lenses will eventually run out. So we want to plan a couple of these along. We want to start collecting antimatter. I have 60. Now, if we remember, I need to do technologies. I need to do mission complete. Now, mission complete requires 4,000 of the universal matrix, which means if we check our crafting menu, I need 4,000 each of the science packs plus 4,000 antimatter. 4,000 antimatter means that I need to have 4,000 critical photons, because for every 2 antimatter, I require 2 critical photons, so I need 2,000 critical photons. I do have a couple of advantages if we proliferate things. Where's my juice gone? I got rid of it. That's alright, we can look at it here. I get a 20% extra bonus. So if I have 3,000 and something, 333,000? Hang on. Where's the calculator? So if I have, if I proliferate the universal matrix before I put it into labs, I only need 333,000 antimatter, therefore 3,333 critical photons to get antimatter. And then if I proliferate, so if I proliferate the universal matrix going into the labs, I get 20% bonus. And then if I proliferate again, the antimatter and everything else, all the science packs going into actually making the universal matrix, I can take 20% off the total again, which means it brings the total down to 2,777, we'll call it 78 antimatter. So I need to just crank out 2,700 antimatter, and as you can see, we have 82. So it's going to be a hot minute, which means what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this episode here. I'm going to go do some outposting and fix some production lines and see about what's holding up our rockets. I thought it was sulfuric acid. It probably is sulfuric acid. That should be fixed by now. So we're going to see about trying to get rockets up and launch faster, because these are going to take a while. In fact, if you watch anybody doing speedrunning of Dyson Sphere, it's normally a lot of solar cells. A lot of solar cells, because you can ramp up the production way faster. In saying that, there is no P. There isn't that achievement. No sale. No thank you. Complete the game without launching a solar cell. So I can't do solar cells, but I can crank up the efficiency, which we have. We're at like 70% efficiency. We are about to complete another one, which should crank the research, the efficiency a little bit higher. And that's the max until we go into white science, which we need to complete the game. So we're not going to spend it on ray receiver efficiency, but we are at 37.2%. I think this one will bring us down to 30% loss. And then, of course, it goes even lower as the continuous receiver goes up. So there's all sorts of bonuses. I have done a whole video on ray receivers. If you want more information, I'll probably leave a link to that down in the description below. But we're going to leave this episode here. I will see you guys in the next episode, where I'm pretty sure we're probably going to be completing the game. But I will see you guys in that episode. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. And I'll see you in the very next episode. All right, bye.